Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, Mudahar. It's been a long time coming. A long time coming. Excuse me, I sprayed a little bit of cleaning product in the bathroom. My throat's a bit on the irritated side, so that's probably why I'm going to sound a little bit different. Cough a lot. I brought water, but I had to drop this new segment. I had to drop it. So remember when I said, well, I heard this from the whispers, the Israeli soldiers. They said they're going to resettle the Gaza Strip. They're going to turn it into a vacation resort. They're going to make sure that they can't get back in. Yep. 80,000, no, well, 80,000 combined, right? So there's 20,000 troops on deployment right now, and then they asked for 60,000 other reservists. hmm And you know what? I can't help but feel as somewhat partially responsible for this. Like not like personally, but with the whole it's so easy to anger these terrorists, these false philanthropists, basically profiteers, right? Because let's be honest, if Hassan, Denims, Frogan, Casey Tron, Noah Samson, iDubbbz, if all these motherfuckers were really 100% about that life, they would have taken all the money that they were monetizing off of this conflict, and they are monetizing it. Make no mistake about that, right? They are monetizing all these videos that they're talking about, all these Twitch streams that you see Hassan talking about, these people, that people, all that money, he's pocketing most of it. Yeah, he'll donate some here and there, and that's why I think that Hassan is so angry at Ethan Klein and Gila Klein. It's because deep down, I think Muslims know that they're Jewish, right? And to just be swindled out of your shekels, or whatever the fuck you call it in the Islamic religion, right? Like you have to really see the parallels of it, because I went to school with a lot of Jewish people, so I know what that's like, right? In the case of Hassan, though, he's tripling down, okay? And I think there's multiple reasons as to why. Well, number one is the whole Israeli thing, right? They lost. Palestine's lost, dog. They're talking about a ceasefire, and then the ceasefire said, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. Fuck that ceasefire, man. You know for a fact that on top of being psychologically and mentally tortured for years and shit, the Hamas terrorists and the indoctrinated oh the guy who was the intelligence officer, right? Oh god damn it. He has the most memorable names, like a couple billion viewers, I mean subscribers on his YouTube channel. Anyways, he was saying that you can't take that away from them. You can't take away the schooling of hating the Jewish people, the American people away from the Palestinians. You have to let it burn. You have to let that dumpster fire just burn. It's gonna smell real bad. People are gonna hold their noses. All these people are finding out about the whole Talaran was the first person who did the video on it, but all these people are doing the echo. This is why I say, yo, you gotta subscribe to Talaran. Disclaimer: I say a lot of racist stuff on my YouTube channel. I in no way, shape, or form am a representative of Talaran or his views, his channel, all that stuff. I'm just shouting him out because that's where I get my news from. That disclaimer out of the way. So we have to talk about the racism that the Muslims have towards the rest of the world that they don't want you to know about, right? And I was watching this segment of this Pakistani guy, and I think he was trying to buy I don't know, property or whatever in a Middle Eastern country, and they need you to open up a bank account. And then as he gets to the line, they're shooing him away, yo, go away, you have to get back. And then only when they put hands on him and he started yelling at them and he had a strong British accent, somebody wanted his money, because it's British money. It's not Pakistani money. It's not Punjabi money. It's not Indian money. It's funny how the Sikhs are so desperate to try to drag, you know, the Indians down into the shithole that they created by like accusing them of all the bullshit that they're doing. Like when it comes down to it, who's smuggling the trucks? The Sikhs are. Who's raping the kids? The Muslims and the Sikhs are. Who's doing like all the scamming and shit? Well, some Hindus do. Maybe a lot of Hindus do. I've seen that. I'm not gonna take that away and be like, oh, it's all their fault all the time, right? Like there is some culpability that you gotta put on people, and you just can't like what's the word? You can't have favoritisms and you can't be biased because again, like one of the things I hate about like this is what the reason why I left the religion is that you're gonna get blamed for a lot of things that aren't your fault, and these people have a habit of it's delusion, right? Even I had it when I was younger. It's like I could be strong, right? And I kid you not, I could only get up to like 300 on the bench when I started eating just a bit of red meat. I wasn't even like, I was trying to keep it on the DL because it's like, I'm not allowed to eat in my house at the time. And then I just got into an argument with my family one time, and then it was like, oh, whatever, just eat whatever the fuck you want. Because it's like, how is it, you got a job, right? And you got to lift a 200-pound water pump. Actually, I think it's like 150. And I can't do it because it's like it's concentrated weight. You know what I mean? It's not like on a bar. It's not like there's no handles to it or anything. And like these weak ass kids, not weak ass kids, they're stronger than me. Like these young ass kids were like lifting it, and my old ass couldn't lift it. I was like, yeah, the only way we can be keeping this job is if I can like rely on my like fellow coworkers and stuff, right? But like, I was the only brown man there. That's rough, you know what I mean? And they don't even, the thing is, like the plumbing company was in Brampton, right? And we're all surrounded by brown. Like there's a brown temple across the street, brown restaurants, all that shit, brown like other places of employment. Whenever I don't know, they do windows or interiors and stuff, right? And we're the only, like, I don't think we're the only plumbing company in that area. I don't work there anyway because it's like, once you lose the trust of your coworkers, and this is like what my family doesn't understand because they're like, money, 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 money. Then once you lose the trust of your coworkers for like missing out on a day, that means somebody had to do your work. You're never gonna get respected there ever again. So I had to leave that place behind. And now, I pursue a career in making the video games because I can't do anything constructive with my life. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I am a little bit under the weather, so. But let's talk about the good news. Excuse me. Israel is taking its country back, right? And it's kind of funny because I was a little late on watching the Tal. Like I try to watch his videos every day, Taloran. Again, I don't represent him. He doesn't know me or whatever. And it was only towards the end of the night, and the exact same sentiment. Not only how I felt about my own race, but how I felt about certain Jewish people towards the state of Israel and their president and like how they're handling their shit. I'm like, you're not there. You don't live there. How are you fucking talking this shit, man? Like how are you saying that like these people are genociding and they're starving and they're just like shut the fuck up, man. Like this is all dumb. Like you don't live there. You're just echoing like points you hear on the fucking news, and other people are just like lying to you. Because all these Muslims, right? They're cheap labor. They come into this country illegally, specifically in the UK, right? They come into the country illegally. They're trying to do this here in America. People are, oh, by the way, they're running that segment on the news, and it's like, it's going nonstop. Like, everybody's like, who is this fucking guy? Who's this Sikh guy, right? It sucks too, the fucking, a hard gender skunt. Yeah, I'm not gonna stop doing that. Every single Sikh, that's not a thing, man. That's a skunt. Yeah, and dude, like, you see him in chains and shit. I'm like thinking to myself, yo, dog, you could get all that money, like, hauling all these trucks and shit, and I'm thinking to myself, that's gonna make zero difference. You know what I mean? It's gonna make no fucking difference because you just look so fucking ugly. And not only that, he's, like, young and shit, too, like... I forget which age, excuse me about that. When you cough a lot, you get gas. I don't know if that makes me like, obese or something. Obese man. Ugh. I gotta do more elliptical joggings and stuff. But what was I saying? Oh, so Israel taking its country back. Forget about all that other drama and shit, right? Is possibly the greatest thing to happen in my lifetime, and I'll explain. You see, this conflict would have solved itself years ago if they just took a deal or something, but they didn't want to share any of the land. They just wanted all the Jews out. And I'm thinking to myself, so what would happen if you got what you wanted, right? And all the Jews left? Well, I'm thinking to myself, more or less, you'll get them out. They're gonna like leave your country. You'll like celebrate for a couple days or two, a week, a month, and then it's just back to like the same bullshit. You guys are still gonna be a poor country. You're still gonna have no opportunities. The Jewish population didn't prevent you from doing anything, and in fact, in a lot of ways, their medical science, their human rights benefited you way more than your slave masters because I think to myself, like, whenever I see like an Islamic Republic, it's just a despot. It's just like a country ruled by like a class or like a specific, crown prince. It's just a dictator. Like these people don't have any royalty. They don't have any like nobility in their blood. They're just all the same kind of level of scumbag that like, have to be endorsed by corporations and companies to save face and show like, hey, you can do business in my country. People like you. No, they don't. And we can see that happening in real time in the UK. Finally, the people of the United Kingdom are fighting back, and they are pissed. They are pissed. Oh my God, the St. George flag. I was tempted. Maybe I'll go down tomorrow. I'm tempted to go down because I got a place where we have a lot of, I think, evangelical and like other Catholics and stuff. But I think like they have like ties to like England and stuff because Winston Churchill Street. Anyways, I want to go down there and ask him, yo, can you give me a St. George flag, please? It's like, are you gonna burn it? I'm like, no, I'm not Muslim or Sikh. I even converted to Buddhism from Hinduism, if that makes any sense. But like, whatever. If they don't want to give it to me, that's fine. I can understand, like, it's a sensitive thing for them to see. I wouldn't want them to be in Brampton and see that fucking thing, like, go up in flames. But I want to get it. And just, like, like, have it as, like, what do you call it? Those sun blocking things? Like, they usually come in, like, tin foil or whatever. Not like tin foil, like a foil type of material to reflect the light so your car doesn't heat up. I just want to put it in the back. It was, like, white. So like yeah, it like blocks out it keeps the car really cool. And it reflects the light. You like go by like what the fuck? It's pissing people off, dude. It's pissing people off. You should see some of the locals. It's like, yo, get this out of my country. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's the country that you're in. What do you mean get this out of your country? You fucking dumb. And then when the Israel taking back Gaza for the Palestinians, they don't want any of them there. You have to register as a citizen of Israel if you want to go to your Gaza. Yep, all the memories of like going to school with like what is it, Roger, the the machine gun loading rabbit, and Michael Mouse. The bomb vested mouse. It's like these Disney characters, like purposely warped to make children feel as if like dying for your country, your dumbass cause is a noble decision. And it's all around the world. Everybody's seeing it, dude. Everybody's seeing it. Oh man, big ups to Israel. And like again, like it's funny how Tao was calling out Ethan and Gila for saying like all this bullshit about how they don't support Israel, how they don't, like the genocide while not even fucking living there and shit. And I'm not trying to say like it's a 100%. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna go there. Yeah, I have every right and reason to believe that the Israelis, not all of them, obviously, there's going to be like those, Guys like Ben Alouze. I even told him to go fight for his country because like 80th hour going in. What the fuck are you doing, homie? You're gonna like show off in your fucking car with your yes wife? Yo, get your fucking bitch ass over there. Go fight for your fucking country. Fucking like yo. That's why I hate some of these fucking white boys, man. It's because it's like, excuse me, they won't fight for their country at all, and they're more than like happy to let like a kid, someone half their age, fight and die, and like the innocents who get caught in the crossfire. Because if they were there, it's just like an extra body, yours versus the innocent, right? But how many, especially for me, right? Because I went to school with a lot of these motherfuckers. How do you think they're gonna go back to Israel and help fight for their country and settle Gaza, dog? They're gonna settle it. They're gonna settle it totally. They're putting up like expensive ass houses. You need like $1.5 million to buy it. Like so much money. The Palestinians like, what the fuck? I can't afford this shit. I got a citizenship here. I grew up in this neighborhood. Yeah, it's not yours anymore. Hey, you see this like what do you call it, mosque? Just bulldoze it and put like a bar there. Yo, it'd be sick if they had a theme ride. Terrace tunnels. It'd be like this like roller coaster. It goes through the entire Gaza tunnels. Whoa! It's like a spooky tunnel, like in the Halloween. You get like all these like terrorists, all these like bone like skeletons, and like put like terrorist like clothes on them, and they like jump out at you, scare kids and stuff. You're going down like the god terrorist tunnel. I mean the sickest theme ride ever, dog. Like because it's like okay, you could blow it up and like collapse it, right? But they keep building more. So why not? If they already did the work, to build all the foundations. The whole foundation, but like the rails and everything. It's like you go in the car. These like things like whoa, dude, it goes forever. When's this ever gonna stop? People get sick. This ride is like 20 minutes long. What the fuck? You get off on the end of the ride. You're on the other side of the country and shit. You're in Arab territory. Oh no, that's not gonna happen. But like, yeah, this is going to be possibly the greatest, thing to have ever happened in our lifetimes because you could like argue that the Ukraine Russia war was unfounded, but we're finding out that like a lot, and I mean a lot of money was going to Zelensky, and so much so, and I don't want to speculate over facts I don't know, right? But people are thinking, right, that maybe there was a mishandling of those funds, and that's not just one country. That's all these countries. That's a lot of money, dude. That's a lot of money. Even Russia probably brought that up to Putin. I mean, Russia brought that up to Putin. Of course, Russia but Putin brought that up to Trump and said, hey, like, think about where all that money went. Yeah, Zelensky's Jewish, right? Yeah, yeah. Where'd that money go? But, like, this conflict is probably going to mark an end to a feud that should never have, like, existed for as long as it has. But this is like one of those like case studies where people from the outside influencing conflicts on the inside, right? So like people living in the insulation of a good life, you don't have to deal with like terrorists, checkpoints, like bombs and stuff and like all that shit, like on the day to day, even like stuff like even simple things like drills where you have to like, oh, they're terrorist attack, you gotta find the shelter, you gotta like do this, you gotta do that, like the trivial nature of that to us, right, on the outside, but like living that kind of fear on the inside, and for people on the outside to question, it's like, oh, what is the validity of your concerns? Like these people don't seem bad to me in my first world nation with security, like larger amounts of land, less Arabs, less concentration of Arabs. Well, like when you get them like concentrated together, that's when you get the problems, right? Oh, and like this, this guy is coming out, this Sikh guy, he's coming out. Yo, I'm pro-British. I'm pro-British. Like, yo, shut the fuck up, man. Use a turban to wipe. Motherfucker out here trying to like, pick sides and shit, dog. The reason why the grooming gangs existed for as long as they had was because of the Sikhs. The Sikhs were complicit with the Muslims, the Pakistanis, with raping white women across Europe. There's no getting out of this. There's no erasure of this fact. Like all this shit's coming out, right? Israel's taking its land back. Serbia's taking its land back. The world is saying no to these fucking illegal immigrants. The world's changing, man. Like big ups to Israel, man. And yo, Ethan, you're a dumbass, man. Your entire country knows what's up, but you don't. All right, then. Take care.